Randvi, are you well? You seem distant.
I'm fine. Only a little tired, but well enough. Shall we look at the map?
Not until you tell me what is wrong.
Oh, I think I have. I feel somewhat trapped. In this room, and this settlement, and this life.
I cannot help you with your life just now, but I can get you out of this room. What do you say?
I don't know. There is much work to be done.
Stop. Forget about alliances and responsibility for just a few hours. We could take a ride to Grandebridge or somewhere nearby for a change of pace.
That sounds lovely. And too far to consider just now. But thank you, Eivor. Maybe another time. Now, what was it you needed?
Randvi, take a break. Let's make for Grandebridgeshire and get you out of this musty room.
Do you mean now? Right now?
Of course. You said you were tired of all this, so why not? Stretch your legs and fill your lungs.
I did ask, didn't I? You're right. Lead the way, Eivor.
Follow me. We won't take the long ship today. This trip is for us. Just you and me. Is that a problem?
Not at all. So long as I get some air and sun, I will be fine. I spend too much of my day in the Longhouse.
We'll need to cross the river at some point if we want to enter Grandebridgeshire. If you know a better way, I would love to hear it.
Is swimming not an option?
Swimming? I don't know. Are you joking?
A boat or a horse would always do, but I'm not opposed to the more traditional methods. It really is lovely here. I have not been this far east of the settlement. Isn't that awful?
You think safety awful?
To live one's life in so small a pen, and hear stories from you and the scouts without ever venturing further. Gods, do you smell that? The earth and the air. It is good to be out here. Eivor, there. What is that?
This is where the Summer Army retreated when Grandebridge was lost. They seem to have resettled the city in full now.
Right. I know this land so well by its map, but to see it in person brings it to stunning life. A Roman marvel. I will not soon forget this sight.
And here we are. Welcome to Grandebridge.
This water smells off.
You get used to it.
I do not wish to.
And here we are. Welcome to Grandebridge. We should make our way to the Longhouse.
Ah, it's bigger than I imagined. Rustic, woody, beautiful. And everything seems quite new.
Under Soma's guidance, the Summer Army built this town up from a small village. They wanted a hub for trade near London, and a launching point for incursions into Wessex.
Well, it is impressive. Some interesting architectural ideas here too.
It's been quite a while since I've seen your face around here.
I know you, I think. One of Soma's loyal men. Magni, is it?
Yeah, good memory.
Good to see you again. This is Randvi, a dear friend and a sturdy fighter.
Well met, Randy. Eivor seems to have a preference for befriending lovely women.
You know, I noticed the same thing.
I expected more people about Magni. Has something happened?
Someone rounded up some warriors and took them west. She's hoping to open a new trade route with Ox and the Vod there. Only now, in times of trouble, I have discovered I am not the surrogate leader I should hope to be.
What sort of trouble?
Oh, a pack of surly bandits have encamped nearby. To the east of the water's edge. They attack all merchants who travel here by river or road, and word is spreading quickly. It's keeping traders at bay.
That could cripple your town if it carries on too long.
It's crippled me already. The bastard stole my horse yesterday morning.
So what will
We can take care of them, Magni. And if we don't find your horse, we will steal you a new one.
Oh, that would ease my mind. I have nothing to offer you for this deed, but the bandits surely would. Take from them what you like.
Good. Consider the matter handled. Eivor, come. We have a camp to raid. The bandits are camped on the river, he said. East of the water's edge.
You volunteered us for a fight, Randvi. Is that your idea of a pleasant ride through the country?
It must be. I surprised even myself.
Away from your table for a day, and already you're lusting for blood.
A feeling you must know well, no? I have always wanted to experience the world as you do, and now I will. Unless you have a more interesting day planned for us?
We will help Magni and clear these bandits, but do not be rash when we find them. The Raven clan needs your steady hand.
Yes, indeed, my lord. I shall follow your order to the letter.
If I did not know any better, I would say you're teasing me.
Oh, certainly not, Eivor wolf-kissed iron-fisted Drenger. I would never tease one with such commanding authority. There, the bandit camp.
All right, stay close and do as I do.
Brood and look sternly at the horizon?
By all means.
Nicely done.
Shh.
I thought you wanted to do this in secret.
You seemed hot for a battle. Go.
Oh shit! Shit! Faster!
There. That's done. Now to deliver Magni his horse. We are champions of Grantbridge. Do you know of any other towns that need liberating?
You don't think we have had enough drama for one day? We should return to the settlement.
Or we could have a drink, to celebrate our victory.
At home, Tekla has all the mead and ale we could want.
Eivor, our outing has hardly begun. Find us an alehouse and let us make ourselves at home.
Let's return the horse, and if your thirst remains, we'll look around. Magni, we solved your bandit problem.
Did you? Well done! And did you find my sweet mare?
Your horse is outside waiting for you.
Thank the gods he is safe. And thank you, Eivor. And your friend Randvi, wherever she is.
She's here somewhere.
Eivor! Over here! Look at this!
Oh! Someone is thirsty.
Are you determined to get drunk?
I am determined to get you drunk. Come on. Scared I will outpace you?
To be honest, a little. What are you playing at?
A drinking contest. You versus me. Wolf-kissed versus Table Maiden.
Randvi, we can do better than Table Maiden.
Mead Queen, then.
All right, let us drink.
Beautiful.
Randi! Focus!
Any more and I'll drown.
Ha! I am the Mead Queen, slayer of wolves and barrels. I told you I would drink you under the table.
So, are you satisfied? My head is ringing like a bell.
More than satisfied. Now come, we'll ride this off and take in the air as we head home. After just one more stop.
Randi.
It's a sunken tower near a waterfall, close to home. We can stop for a look, and then you are free of me. It's near the highest point of a hill, just south of the settlement. Easy to spot, I'm sure.
All right, one last stop then.
I know it might not show, Eivor, but I am terribly excited.
Oh, it shows.
Leaving already? Well, I do hope to see you again. Randi, return any time.
I might have to, Magni. Thank you for everything.
No, thank you. Safe travels.
I think you may have punctured poor Magni's heart back there.
What can I say? Not the first, and it will not be the last.
I name you Randvi, slayer of bandits, breaker of hearts.
I will sound it with Sunniva described this tower for me. A desolate yet peaceful place. I am eager to see it.
After a full day of action, finally you wish to calm down.
I've had my fill of adventure. Time for a little rest. I was wondering something. You and Soma, was there something more to your bond? You spoke of her with a particular shine in your eyes.
We grew very close very quickly. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, did something happen between you two?
What sort of question is that?
An innocent one. Innocent as a newborn babe.
Nothing happened between us. That is my answer.
I find that disappointing. If I were you, I might have tested the waters. Eivor, entangled by a hardy Jarlskona as she leads her army to victory and prosperity. A rather appealing match.
I'm going to...
Look there! That must be the tower. Take the bridge. Just as beautiful as Sunniva's stories tell. Can you imagine how it looked when it was first built? Hundreds of... Sometimes when looking at a map, I imagine little people in their little armies, traversing the land. And now, staring at these ruins, I imagine people of old, how they lived, never knowing what would become of their monuments.
You have a fertile imagination.
I want a view from the top. Shall we?
Lead on.
Keep up!
Mind where you put your fingers. These stones are old and weathered. You climb well for one who folds maps.
You jest, but I have raised the frames of longhouses and hammered the ribs of longships. My hands are calloused from hard work. Well, well. Look at this. A stunning view. It reminds me of my early years in Norway. How I used to climb the hills beyond the wood.
You have an adventurous heart. I hardly see it behind the table, but now I've watched you scale a tower in furs, soaking wet.
I was rowdy in my youth. Hunting, sailing. I was a wildling of the open air before I became this staunch and stoic woman. Married off in service of peace between two clans. A noble and worthy role, but not one I had ever imagined for myself.
You would have made a fine wandering warrior. A Jomsvikinger. Free to come and go as she pleased.
I think so too. It may be we would have sailed together, over the open seas, raiding or traveling.
Or faced each other on the field of battle. Without your marriage to Sigurd, to secure peace, our clans might still be at war.
True. Very true. Thank you for today. Every bit of it has been a dream, and I'm not keen to wake.
Then don't. We can stay here as long as you like.
Yes.
What was that?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I got away from myself.
No need to apologize.
Sigurd is your brother, and I have put you in a very difficult position. The heart does not do politics like the head.
It may be the mead, it may be the air, but there is no need to apologize.
I am sober enough. But the truth of it is, I have felt this way for some time now. I care for you, Eivor.
That is comforting to hear. I've long felt the same way. But I banished the thought that this would ever happen.
Many times I wished to tell you. Wished to say what was in my heart and what I desired. But duty kept me from it.
Say all you like.
Today has meant so much. We rode, we fought, we drank, we laughed. You showed me your world. Not in words, but deeds.
Deeds are more direct than words. Randvi? Must have returned to the settlement. Tovi.
Eivor, it's Sven. He passed while I was away.
Tovi, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
No one was. We had planned to brand Tekla's barrels that morning, and we talked about what we might have for supper. And when I went to collect him, he was in his bed, sleeping, I thought. But he was already gone.
I'm sure he went in peace.
But he went with plans. Things he wanted to do, things he meant to do. His death was so empty. Not like in our stories.
What stories do you mean?
When we tell stories, the old and wise, they have this calm about them. They know when their end has come and they are ready. Sven wasn't ready. And I wasn't ready either. He was supposed to teach me things. I'm still learning. Everyone looks at me like I will simply carry on his work. As if nothing happened. Because they don't know. They don't know I'm not ready.
Life may ask more of us than we are prepared to give. But all we can do is our best. I was not prepared to lose my parents. But in a flash, they were taken from me. I pressed on, determined to live.
That must have been punishing. But you are so strong, and so determined.
Someone else might have done better than me, or worse. This was the fate woven for me, so I live it. I know Sven believed in you, in your craft. So do you believe in him? Do you trust him?
He was the most skilled artist I have ever known.
And he chose you. You may step up or step down, whatever you decide. But know that he had faith in you.
Thank you, Eivor. I need to get home.
Be strong, Toby. And know that you're valued. Randvi, you left so suddenly.
There is work to be done. There always is.
I see.
But do not think for a moment that I have forgotten you and our wonderful day.
Nor would I wish you to.
Good. Then we see eye to eye.
And heart to heart.
Yes, indeed. Until our next moment alone, we should return to our great work. England will not pacify itself on our behalf.
No, indeed.
Back to work then.
This will do. Thank you, Eivor. Anything to help you feel at home. I am most at home helping others. May we return to the subject of your visions? We could, if you think it worth something. I need one more ingredient to finish an elixir for you. Look around the pond there. You will find what I require. Once brewed, this elixir will help you dive deeper into your visions, to see them more clearly. I have the plants you need. Good, good. Once added to the elixir, it will be ready to drink. In taking this, you will have access to the All-Father's wisdom. You will walk the path of Odin and live as he lived so long ago. Prepare yourself for a journey into another time, another plane. The elixir is ready. It will taste like misery itself, but it will open your mind to the sights and sounds of the 9 worlds.
The prophecies of the Nornir are as clear as daylight. The Aesir are doomed. All Asgard is doomed. Repeat the last passage.
Brothers will fight one another and kill one another.
The home of the gods turns red with gore. It will be an age of storms.
An age of wolves.
Not this. Further along. The foretelling of a wolf. A great beast.
The wolf Fenrir howls terribly before the gates to hell. The beast will break its bonds and run.
And my part. What about me?
Then comes the second great sorrow.
When the Havi goes to fight the wolf and falls to Fenrir.
And falls to Fenrir. It's there, you see? You have foretold my death. Your Havi will die.
We speak what we see.
We know your fate, your destiny. Have you gleaned enough, O wise one?
You three spin our destinies as a thread in fabric. But threads may be unraveled by snags and catches.
Not all can be foreseen, but loose threads can be rewoven or restrung. At day's end, the tapestry will be preserved.
I am no string to be plucked or tied. I am the High One, the Lord of Ecstasy, the enemy of the wolf. I am eternal. Riddled words only cloud my thoughts. The storm is brewing, not in the clouds, but down below. Does our final battle draw near? Is this how Ragnarok begins?
Devise a strategy to deal with these invaders, Thor. You cannot smash your way out of certain death. Who?
Booty's balls. We are Asgardians. We don't skulk around like elves. We fight!
We are fighting. For our homes, for our people. But some problems can't be solved with the hard end of a hammer.
Name one.
Harvey, break our stalemate.
What's this? Another invasion?
Warriors from Jotunheim. They attack from all fronts.
While we sit on our trembling hands and scratch our bums.
Not so, Thor. Many Aesir have been sent to the four corners of Asgard, leaving we four to defend the Great Hall.
Harvey, lend me a score of your warriors and I will lead them into Jotunheim myself.
We cannot afford such a loss. The Einherjar must hold back to defend our city.
I would bring them here, to hold the Great Hall itself. This invasion is too large to spread ourselves around.
All this prattle solves nothing. Battle or death!
Silence! All of you! We will take the fight to the enemy before they cross the Bifrost.
Well said, Ravenfeeder. Name those who may fight beside you.
I need only one. You, Freya, Queen of Asgard. Will you fight at my side?
I'm with you, Havi. Let the Bifrost shimmer with the blood of their dead.
The rest of you, stay back to protect the Great Hall. Were any creatures among the Jutnar? Draugr, trolls, or wolves?
What troubles you, Havi?
Does your far side tell you something?
More invaders! They gather at the Bifrost Bridge!
Where's Loki? He should be guarding that door.
Warn the others. The fight begins.
Come, Havi. Tonight we drink and swive, but now's the hour we prove our might. If they breach the gate to Jotunheim, someone must close it!
Mjolnir! It is time to crush!
Blood for Asgard! Say hello to Jormungandr!
Kill the asset! Burn the walls! Together, right?
My steel will shrink. My steel will reflect their illusions.
I'll split you!
Cut them down!
Sweat blow!
I must staunch the flow of invaders.
What's my lead?
Asgard will fall!
Not while I stand.
Loki was charged with guarding this gate, and yet it was left open.
What's that?
You've done us no favors either, Jotun. Harvey, I found this one lurking in the shade, shying from battle. Shall I extract some teeth to get him talking? Or pluck out an eye?
You were told to guard this portal, Loki. What happened?
The portal opened, and these soldiers came bleeding through. So I sent warning straight away. And I captured this one, the soggy-jowled sheep herder.
What's your name, stranger?
I am called the Builder by most.
She wants your name, not your trade.
If I have another name, it's not within my memory. Builder it's been for as long as I've been building things.
Why have you come to Asgard?
To bow my bruised ego, I'll admit. The Jotnar did not appreciate my skills and crafts.
And you thought we in Asgard might?
Was it wrong to believe you and your kin possess a wisdom beyond measure and could recognize such a rare opportunity?
Harvey, when someone gifts you a horse, you ride it. I'd put a bridle on this one.
Is that right, Builder? Are you a gift horse? Or a secret curse?
Neither, High One. I am only a tool. One with hopes to be well used.
This portal has been a source of misery for some time. I want it sealed.
With respect, this is not the only way the Jötnar can enter Asgard. May I propose a more encompassing solution?
Quite a coincidence that you came when you did, at the tail end of a brutal attack.
That I came when I did was by design. I have been among your enemies for so long, I know how they hunger for your demise. If you doubt me, I could offer a demonstration.
A demonstration, yes. And if he fails to impress, we hoist his skin as a sail.
I'll accept these terms, with the last condition. I would need water from your well of Urthur.
What do you know of our sacred well?
It's a place of great power and vital magic, a source of spirit. It's the water there that will power your shield.
I'll collect the water, Harvey. Keep this one clear of our sacred sites.
Loki, halt! I will go to the well. You must find this builder a clearing for his display.
No, it's no trouble, Harvey. The damp and the dark appeal to me.
Go with the builder, then return to the Great Hall with news of our next step.
As you command. An interesting offer.
A curious coincidence.